We just got some crazy Poppy Playtime news with a brand new Doctor Q&A that just recently happened over on the official Mob Entertainment Twitter page. It spanned over 2 days with over 16 questions. Well, to be exact, 16 questions, with some of them just being silly, goofy questions, while other questions actually had some cool lore info and drops to let us understand more about the Doctor. We also finally got the chapter for console ports for Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation with release dates and some brand new artwork, along with some brand new merch news. So without further ado, let's just go hop to the video and start off with the brand new Doctor Q&A, and of course the Doctor Takeover. So this all happened at least almost a week ago at the time of recording this, and I've been posting it all on my community tab. So, if you aren't subscribed, definitely go and subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with Poppy news, like even the smallest bits of it on my community tab. Because it all started with this being the Huggy profile, the Huggus Wuggus profile, and you can see it starts getting glitchy with a circle, with the same thing as the banner of the Twitter page, also having the same glitchy effect and a faint eye in the middle of it. This is something that people are like, okay, is this a brand new ARG? Is something happening? Then we can see the next day it went and got a little bit closer, making it look a little bit more like an eye, with of course the same thing happening with the banner, until it actually became a closed eye, of course being the Doctor's eye, with same thing with the banner. And yeah, everybody was going crazy wondering, does this confirm Doctor's alive? Is this brand new merch? Is this what even is this? Nobody knew, until of course 3 days ago they officially rebranded as the Doctor with this awesome looking banner and of course a brand new profile. It just looks so cool. And then the Doctor went ahead and did a whole entire 20-second video explaining the whole entire questions and stuff like that. And this has also been, I think, confirmed to just be a in-universe Q&A, but of course him breaking the fourth wall. So the questions are canon, but him actually talking to us is kind of like a breaking of the fourth wall. So that's not really canon, but the questions and answers are actually canon to the universe, so it definitely helps out with the lore. The first question was, does Yarnaby scratches under his chin? And of course, he just goes and explains about that. It's nothing really crazy, because like I said, the first day, it wasn't really that much crazy. Also asking what his favorite color was, just saying that it's gray, because also explaining why he liked it was gray, but also, it's just interesting because he is gray, because he's kind of like a robot. And another question was just asking about his evil accent, the one that, everybody just loves, his iconic voice. And someone was asking if you get the flu to use an antivirus. And if you're wondering also where these questions were coming from, they're all sent and asked by partners in crime. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that there is going to be another Q&A, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later after this. But another question that was, of course, asked, do you have a favorite Playtime code toy? And this one was actually revealed to be Brawn. So all Brawn fans are going to be really eating good after finding this out. With the other question being, do you have games on your OS? Of course, being operating system. And it's kind of the meme of, do you got games on your phone? And it was revealed that yes, he does have games on his OS. But since he is a old computer, I'm guessing it's not going to be anything like, Roblox or Poppy Playtime. But I'm guessing it'll be more like 8-bit games, kind of like, Pac-Man or even Pong being the first game ever made. Then the other question was, have you seen Internet Cat videos? And he said that he hasn't seen Internet Cat videos, but he is anything as entertaining as watching Catnap play with the smiling and nightmare critters. Then he says that he bet they'll be very entertaining. So that is really interesting. It kind of makes sense because we do see Catnap doing that in one of the cinematic trailers, just kind of hunting and playing with the mini nightmare critters. So that is pretty interesting to see. Another one was, why do you hate Simon Smokes? Explaining why he was in that test subject and why, he had that. And he just says he doesn't like reptiles, and now it's just an answer for that. So nothing crazy or new about that. But the next one was, who do you hate most at Playtime Co? This is when the answers get a little bit interesting, because he says there is 2 that he hates the most. He was saying it's either Leith or Dr. White. So he went and did a coin flip with, of course, heads or tails. Heads for Leith, tails for Leith, or heads for Dr. White. But of course, he did and flipped the coin and got a skeleton head, which is, of course, very interesting. So he got his answer. Another one was, who was your first successful bigger body? And he says you should have, read my doctor report. He doesn't really answer it. He just says you should have read my notes. And I'm pretty sure, I think we all know that it might have been Boxy Boo, which was the most successful. The first successful bigger bodies. But that's just according to my knowledge, just off the bat. If it is, you guys could definitely go and let me know in the comments below. But another one of the questions was, do you miss eating or drinking? And he says that he misses the sensation and the taste of it, but he still does have to eat and drink as he answers, showing that he doesn't just have to live off the computer. He does have to actually still eat like all the other toys around the Playtime Co. factory, which is also another interesting lore bit. And another one was kind of a joke. Would you ever use Huggy Wuggy as a rack for your lab coat? And of course, he got very, very defensive, saying that he wouldn't. But he also talked about the Braun, coats, and also how the people at the Playtime Co. factory just really liked Braun for some reason, wanted to make a whole bunch of different Braun items, as we've seen in chapter 3 with, the Braun items all over the place. And then, of course, the next one was, if you could ever swap place with any Playtime Co. experiment, who would it be and why? And he never says who it would be, but he said it was, of course, someone. And I'm pretty sure we all think that it is the prototype. It seems like he is talking about the prototype, but the way he talks about it seems like the prototype's only a little bit better than he is. So, like, maybe the prototype has some type of weakness that, of course, we're going to go and find out in chapter 5. But the way he talks about it, it makes it seem like the prototype isn't as strong and as big bad as, the game been making it seem so far. And another one, of course, was, what do you think about Dowie? What makes him unique among all your experiments? And, of course, it seems like he really does hate Dowie here because chapter 4 was all really about Dowie having this whole underground base and Force trying to go and fight against the Doctor, so it makes sense why the Doctor hates Dowie, but he still has a soft spot for him. Get it? Soft spot because of Doe. Just kidding. Because, of course, he made him, and also he's a very unique experiment, also with 3 different souls, so it's one of those rare occasions. With that, of course, another one was, what's your thoughts on Poppy? He says, of course, that Poppy reminds him a lot of her father, and he says that's not a good thing, and that's literally all he said. With the last question would be, Mr. Harley Sawyer, would he have saved Pianosaurus from his demise? So, of course, he goes and corrects, saying it's Doctor, and then he says, may he rest in keys, saying, and of course, proving that he would not have saved him. He said, no, he wouldn't save him, rest in keys. Of course, meaning supposed to be like rest in peace, but with piano keys, which is just very sad. Like, damn, that just really dark. That's all the questions, of course, being very interesting questions, with Spencer Sings being mainly responsible for literally 100% in all of this takeover. And he went on Twitter and, of course, showed his behind-the-scene look at all the different photos for the banners during the whole entire takeover. And, of course, all the different renders that he made for the Doctor during this, kind of like a PNG tuber type thing, with, of course, a whole bunch of brand new faces, the coin, and also Amber making lots of the concept poses for, of course, Spencer to go and render out, being amazing teamwork. I really do love this. And look at the new Doctor eyes too. I just love them. And even the whole cinema pose, it's absolutely great. But then Mob posted, hey, phew, that was weird. Sorry about getting hacked. So yeah, it definitely seems like this is a whole stunt, and that's why it's called a Doctor Takeover. It's really cool. With Tyler also going to the official Poppy Discord server and saying, I just wanted to chime in here. I've been looking at the questions y'all are asking the Doctor in the thread on Twitter. I think we might have to do another one of these with an eye emoji, showing that, yes, your guys' questions might actually get answered, and we might be able to get more lore on the Doctor. So that's just really great to hear. But also earlier today, they officially announced the Chapter 4 console ports, saying Chapter 4 on consoles when? How about on June 25th? Showing that now you can pre-order it and it'll be officially releasing on June 25th. And I will also try my best to go and do a gameplay on Xbox for, Chapter 4. So go and subscribe and stay tuned for that. It might be earlier, might be later, might be a stream, who knows. But it'll be released on Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch, and also still working on Nintendo Switch 2, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on. But yeah, they have the whole entire announcement, release date, and also some brand new banners, and of course still costing $20 still, but it just looks super cool. I love the new Dowie art that we've been getting, and now you can see all the chapters are officially going to be out on consoles. Sadly, the mobile ports, we have no news or updates on it yet, but also subscribe and stay tuned. I know I've been saying that a lot, but when we do get news on it, I will let you guys know about it. Hopefully it will be soon though. But also I just love this whole banner, and with Dowie and the Doctor, it just looks so good. I absolutely love it. But before all this even started, the whole takeout, when the Switch 2 did release, they did announce that the Switch 2 ports, or Switch 1 ports for Poppy Playtime, still works on the Switch 2. It'll just be at a higher resolution, but the gameplay and the graphics will still be the same as Switch 1's. It won't be taking advantage of the new Switch 2 graphics, which is kind of sad, but it's great to see that it still works. But now moving on to the merch news, the Japan pop-up shop, or the Twitter page for it, posted some brand new photos just with some brand new socks. Nothing really new, just 3 different sets of different socks for Smiling Critters, and of course Huggy Wuggy and Kissy Missy. But on Epic Drops, you got some brand new items, being of course some brand new beanies for the Smiling Critters, only being Crafty Corn, Dog Day, and Catnap, showing that out of Catnap and Dog Day being the most popular, Crafty Corn definitely is the 3rd most popular critter, which is pretty obvious why they keep on choosing Crafty Corn, but like it's still really cool to see. And also the whole entire Smiling Critter action figure pack for Catnap and Dog Day, is finally out now, and you could buy it, right now. I also did buy it a few days ago when it got released, and it's already shipped, and it should be coming in soon. Sadly, my Doey the Doman plush hasn't shipped yet, so that kind of sucks, but I will be doing a review on this the second I get it in. So, of course, subscribe for that. I said it so many times. Don't get annoyed at me, please. But for another last little bit of news, thanks to Sheep Rampage on his recent live stream, he announced and showed this whole entire video here talking about the, mob success in the future and stuff like that. They talk about the different things, like, of course, the Fortnite, not really the Fortnite collab. They talk about the, collaboration with McFarlane and Funko, which we did talk about, and of course, in this video here. So we can definitely get a lot more info and news on that. But they mentioned how Genos, or I don't know if I'm even saying it right, a jewelry company will be teaming up with Poppy Playtime to make some type of Poppy Playtime jewelry, like high quality ones that look really good and detailed. You guys can see some of the How to Train Your Dragon ones below. It looks very good. Hey, more editing lightning news. Poppy Entertainment just released it today because I, of course, delayed the video, that Yarnaby is officially not for pre-order anymore. And also there's a brand new shirt. Look at that. It's like a hoodie. This is Poppy Playtime showing Yarnaby and also the Doctor's Eye, which looks pretty cool. And also the Japan pop-up shop released the whole chapter 1 to 3, the triple pack for consoles, mainly just being the PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch edition, with some brand new like factory cards that shows, of course, the player, or just one of those little figure things, and of course Huggy Wuggy in the back saying, of course, showing like a P for Playtime, just showing like a little employee card. That's pretty cool, and I think it's a really cool collectible that I might want to definitely try to get. And also editing lightning here, just adding in this whole Bear Brick collab. They also think they're going to be announcing a Bear Brick for Poppy Playtime, most likely just being a Huggy Wuggy one, but it's really cool to see this. We don't know if it's gonna be a full set or just one or two of them, but usually these things are pretty rare, and also it's pretty cool to see another collab coming from Poppy. But that's gonna be it for this video. You guys can let me know in the comments below what do you guys do think about all the brand new Poppy Playtime news, and definitely stay tuned for half the different gameplays and of course more news like this. And don't forget to watch this video here to see, of course, different reviews, and this video here to stay tuned for all the last news, because there was a lot of news last week.